One of these days, everything that I want's gonna be mine. And if it ain't, that'll be alright, as long as there's sun. Oh, hello. John O'Keefe here. I had one of those days. Holy mackerel. It's Friday. I don't often read on Fridays, but hello. I'm here. I'm glad to see you. Hello. It's Friday. Do you have that same feeling that I do on a Friday? Like, woo, that was a busy week. Hello, John O'Keefe here, Mr. O to many of you. Hello to everybody, north, south, east, west, wherever you are from. You will notice that I'm not in shorts and bare feet today. It has turned cold. It's one of the beauties of wherever you live. Let me tell you, people are going to tell you throughout your entire life that where you live, nobody knows what the weather's really going to be like. Unless, of course, I guess if you live in like Arizona, like that's going to be pretty much warm during the day, hot, probably, dry, and maybe every once in a while you're going to get a thunderstorm. Or it's going to get colder at night than it is during the day. Or if you're in Denver, that's one of those funny places, right, T, that like doesn't make a whole lot of sense either, because like up in the mountains, you're getting like 50 feet of snow on a rain or on a snowstorm, and down in the valley of Denver, everything is just fine, like 70 degrees and sunny. But then the next day it's like freezing, and then the next day it's like 80 degrees and sunny. I know you live there. It's not always like that. That's generalization, John. Hi, John O'Keefe. I've already said that, right? I've already said that. I have my Learning is an Adventure shirt on today. So kind of like Mr. Rogers. Oh, are you a little cold? You usually spend time outside, so you must be chilly. I remember Minli yesterday was walking through barren, stony, cold wind blowing area, which made them go into their cave, right? So, welcome. It is a pleasure and an honor and a gift to be here. I hope I make you intrigued enough to want to keep coming back. Okay, so life lesson today. Yeah, adventure. Different today than it was yesterday, than it was the day before. I don't know if you understand that, but life continues to happen, and whatever is freaking you out right now will often be different in a minute, will be different in 2 days, will be different in a year. And sometimes we have to look back at those tragic moments in our life, or moments, and realize what we have learned. My friend Tina, and her daughter, Edie, were having a really good conversation about those 4 expectations that we have, and that one called Manage Yourself. And I agree. Thank you, Tina, for sending me a little note in regards to that. I agree. Yeah, managing yourself is one of those really important things that although we are practicing it on a daily basis, we practice it a lot. Woo-woo! Westview Elementary, Colorado. Woo-woo! Have a good weekend. Love you. Thanks for being here. But I really appreciated you participating in regards to that. And I want to let you all know that it's okay when things don't seem okay. What's important is do you have somebody or some place to go that is safe? Do you have somebody in your life that is safe? Do you have somebody in your life that will listen, that you can trust? And if right now your brain is kind of saying, oh no, I don't know who I'm going to say. You guys know this. It's, your teacher. It's hopefully a family member who lives within it. Maybe an older brother, cousin, friend, next door neighbor. Please find that person. Always have one of those people in your idiomatic back pocket. You're not actually going to have a person in your back pocket, but they're going to be there. So to my friends at Westview in Colorado, hello. It's good to see you. And to people from Gwynn Oaks, hello. And people from Riverside, hello. And people from out in Olympia, Washington, or Seattle, Washington, hello. I just want to say, and Kate, Anya, you guys out there? Woo! Anyway, are my family, the O'Keefes from South Dakota, out there? Woo! Anyway, here's the deal. What has happened? Well, Minli has 2 borrowed lines, thanks to the dragon and her meeting very interesting characters. That was 2 days ago. They are on their way to this place that seems like a gold something or other out in the middle of the dark, barren, stone grounded area that they're traveling through right now. The weather has changed and it's gotten quite cold. It's not as beautiful. So obviously, they're in a place of in-between, a place of uncertainty. And this is, I guess, kind of where I was going with that. I'm in a place of uncertainty right now. My school has been virtual this entire year. There have been a couple times where I've been able to do a little bit of an elbow high five with some of my students, but others I have never met in person our entire existence together. We've known each other now for like 6 months. Okay, only about 5 months, but the reality is that's what happens. So I just want you to understand something. We are being asked next week, a week from today, my life is going to change and I'm not going to be in the same place I'm in, meaning I'm not going to be with the same team teacher that I'm with. I'm not going to be with my entire group of students that we have been working with this whole year. And I'm going to be moving back into the classroom, but I am also going to be joining another class. Now, there are 5 kids from my team who are going to be moving with me to in-person learning. But that's kind of a strange deal, right? Like that's a little bit bizarre. And it's kind of how Minli is going through this weird space. It's a space of uncertainty. But within that space of uncertainty, she has dragon, right? And they have found a safe place, relatively safe, to camp for the night, right? Protected. But strange enough, she hears something strange outside. And she goes to the mouth of the cave. By the way, the cave doesn't really have a mouth. That's personification, but it's the, what do you think it is? It's the entrance of the cave, right? And so she is there and lo and behold, there's a tiger that has jumped right at her face, right? Right there, ah! And that's where the chapter ends. Don't you love when a chapter ends with this, what they call a cliffhanger? Like where they're like, well, you're either going to keep reading or you're going to just shut your book and act like that wasn't the most interesting and exciting thing. By this point, we are way into this story, right? We want to know what's happening. Minli is getting little bits and pieces along her way that are going to help her hopefully reach the goal that she is searching for, which is again, what? That's right. A fortune for her family to make their life better. To find the old man of the mountain, excuse me, who has the book of fortune, who could potentially answer a certain question that could potentially change everything. You remember the dragon? Not her friend dragon, but Jade Dragon, who lost the 4 kids, who turned into rivers, and then she herself turned herself into the river and closed off Fruitless Mountain from being able to be grown, like have anything growing on it. All of that happened way time ago, but that's where we're trying to get to. Like, will she get that goal, right? That's where we're going. So the reality is that we don't know. I assume that she's probably going to, because other books that I've read have had this adventure series. But I will tell you, there are books out there that will switch what you usually find in a book, and like all of a sudden you're like, whoa, what? But anyway, this one, all I know is that a tiger is jumping on our main character or jumping at our main character. The dragon is sleeping. They have the threads. Ma and Ba are wondering whether or not their daughter is ever going to come home. And now we are at chapter 28, which is an interesting picture. Are we with Ma and Ba, or are we still with those big cliffs? Yes, there's cliffs. Yes, there's a few trees. Yes, there seems to be some kind of lake, but what are those hash lines? Oh, bad weather. I think that looks like, would you say it? Rain? All right, so here's the deal. Do you have your verbal to visual? Are you drawing as we go on? We are on chapter 28. It's not a very long one. It's literally only this far. That's what I like about this book is that it's in small chunks. And so somebody like me who can sometimes get overwhelmed with really long chapters, this helps me manage that and makes me go. So it's 10 minutes and 27 seconds right now. So it's time for me to read. Otherwise, I'm jipping you, right? You're like, come on, Mr. O, I'm not here to listen to you babble, babble, babble on. Okay, anyway, chapter 28. The wind screamed as Ma and Ba ate their dinner. Oh my gosh, I totally thought that we were going to be with Minli. The wind screamed as Ma and Ba ate their dinner. The shutters of the house waved and slammed, shaking the house, and the light from their lantern wavered. They looked at each other and wordlessly went to the window. There's fear in the wind, personification. The wind can't be scared. The fish said, oh, there's fear in the wind. The fish said, great worry. Is it a storm? Ma asked. Ba looked at the fish. It stared at him with big eyes. I'm not sure, Ba said. The tree branches bent in the wind violently, as if being shaken by the sky. The wind shrieked again, and the cold air gusted into the house. The water in the fishbowl rippled, and the fish swayed in the bowl. Both Ma and Ba shivered. Ooh. Do you think Minli is outside in this weather? Ma faltered. I hope not, Ba said. The wind continued to slap the house and trees. The whole earth seemed to shudder at the screeching wind. Only the moon above was still. Ba looked at Ma and saw her soundless lips move as she gazed at the moon. He knew what she was doing and did the same. Please, he implored the moon silently. Please watch over Minli. Please keep her safe. The moon continued to shine. Ever looked up at the moon and wished for something? Or a shooting star? Or just said something out loud and nothing answers you? But yet it makes you feel better, right? Or at least it makes you feel different. Chapter 29. Tiger, tiger, tiger. Now I know where we are. Minli's scream seemed to freeze in the air. The tiger leapt at her, his scowling mouth glittering with pointed teeth, his blade-like claws rushing toward her. Minli knew there was no escape. But a flash of red violently knocked the attacking claw away. Yes! Minli gasped as Dragon roared, the tiger's claws ripping into Dragon's arm. With the brutal force of his other arm, the dragon threw the tiger back, forcing it to fly into the air. Go away! Dragon thundered. Ooh, thundered, that's a good word. Go away! Dragon thundered in a voice that even made Minli quake. She would never have imagined Dragon could speak that way. Dragon could speak that way. The tiger glared like a spoiled child. Minli could now see it was not an ordinary tiger. It was bigger than a horse or a buffalo, and it was dark. Dusty green, like the color of sand dirtied from the ocean foam. Even in the dim light of the moon, Minli could see its eyes glower with malevolence. Malevolence. Say that word. Malevolence. Let me ask you a question. If its eyes glower with malevolence, do you think that that's a good thing? Do you think that the tiger was going to stop and go, oh, wow, that was really fun. Thanks so much for that ride, dragon. No, this dragon is ferocious. This dragon is not getting to Minli, which I think he was pretty excited about making her his dinner, right? So the reality is that Minli could see its eyes glower with malevolence is probably a pretty mean term. Malevolence. Boy, wouldn't that be cool to use in your writing? Malevolence. Go! Dragon commanded again in his thundering voice. Minli realized she had forgotten how big Dragon was. The tiger was large, but Dragon was bigger. Though the viciousness of the tiger's expression made them seem evenly matched. But the tiger gave another malicious snarl and turned away. Dragon stood his full height until even the tiger's moonlit shadow disappeared from view. "Are you all right?" Dragon asked finally. "That tiger," Minli said in a daze. "That tiger was going to kill me." "I know," Dragon said. "That tiger was truly evil. When you screamed, I could feel it." And strangely, without knowing why, Minli burst into tears. Pause. You understand why? Have you ever done that? Have you ever been so scared by something, so scared that all of a sudden you're just like, and then when you know you're safe, oh, you just melt into a puddle. By the way, that's a metaphor. I just turned you into a puddle. Have you ever been lost and you don't know where your family is? You don't know where that big safe person is in your life. Oh my gosh, I had this moment with a Mr. Peanut Man once. And he came up to me like in the milk department when I was like 5 years old. And he's supposed to be like this cool peanut character that is supposed to like sell peanuts. And all of a sudden I was like, "Wah!" I had no idea where my mom was. And I want to tell you, when I saw my mom, oh my gosh, I can already feel it right now. Can you know what I'm talking about? You're like, oh, safety, oh. And then you can just kind of express yourself. Minli just realized she almost died. And she would have if it wasn't for the heroicism of her good friend Dragon, who put his own life at risk to keep her safe. And so as soon as that happened, and strangely, without knowing why, Minli burst into tears. We know why. She probably knows why, but it's happening so fast that she doesn't even know what to do. The tiger's roars still echoed in her ears, and she could still see his cruel claws and eyes. Now that he was gone, her terror flooded out of her. Oh, I love that picture. So she's crying, right? And it's the terror leaving her body. I love that. Listen to how Dragon responds. "It's okay," Dragon said, gently putting his arm on her shoulders. It was then Minli saw the 4 long gashes bleeding on the dragon's arm. The tiger's claws had been sharp, and the slashes were deep. Minli shook herself and brushed her tears away. "You're hurt," Minli said, looking at the cuts, which were already starting to swell. "It's all right," Dragon said. "Don't worry. Dragons heal quickly." They walked back into the cave, and Minli poured water on the wounds to clean them. She wrapped her blanket around Dragon's arm, but it continued to slowly bleed. As he lay down, Minli noticed Dragon's eyes fade and blur. "I'm starting to feel strange," Dragon said huskily. "Perhaps I will sleep." "Okay," Minli said. "You sleep. Maybe when you wake up, you'll feel better." But Minli felt as if she had swallowed a frozen rock. Something was wrong with Dragon. She knew it. Did you feel that too? Did you feel that whole idea of like him not feeling well? She knew it, and I bet you did too. Throughout the night, his breathing grew hoarser and his skin was damp. Every time she unwrapped the blanket, she grimaced. The ugly wounds had turned black. An evil-looking liquid was starting to seep. Minli shivered, and it was not from the cold. Squiggly writing. "He's getting weaker," Minli thought. "Something is very wrong. I have to do something. Dragon needs help, but I don't want to leave him. What am I going to do?" What would you do? Would you leave your friend, who seems to be fading? Would you go and search for help, or would you stay? It's a tough place to be. How many of you out there right now are saying, "Go, Minli, you have to go find something"? Where should she go? Oh, she's got the golden something that's up there, right? Or would you stay I mean, what happens if Dragon wakes up alone? Is he going to be okay? What's she going to do? Oh my gosh. Okay, I got to keep reading. I know. I did that on purpose. Okay, I did that on purpose. Okay. By the time the first light of the sun crept into the cave, Dragon's breathing was rough. When Minli shook him, he did not wake up. Minli felt a surge of panic. Squiggly writing. I don't know what to do, she thought desperately. Her quick thinking mind darted like a flustered butterfly. I know, she thought. I'll go to that village. Maybe someone there will know what to do. Minli stood up, whispered into the dragon's ear. I'm going to go get help. I'll be back soon, I promise. Just hold on until then, okay? Promise me. But Dragon did not respond, and Minli felt tears starting to form in her eyes. Quickly, without even gathering her things, she turned and left the cave. It was mid-morning outside, and Minli squinted in the sun. The wind still blew bitterly, but she didn't even notice. Instead, Minli began to run toward the patch of yellow in the distance. I have to go back for, oh, that's right. It was just a picture of the dragon. I don't need to go back. I understand that part. Chapter 30. I can't deny this part. I need to go check this out. All right. Chapter 30. Oh, look at that closer. Is that Minli in the center? Sometimes there's so many things happening in it that I'm not sure. I love the beautiful artwork. Thank you, Grace Lynn. Thank you. All right. So let's check it out. Chapter 30. Minli's feet pounded against the rocky ground, fighting the uneven earth as she climbed upward. It was difficult. The wind-carved rocks and boulders seemed to grow from the ground like trees, confusing her way and disrupting her balance. Minli was so intent on her movement that she almost didn't notice a low growl. But she halted as soon as she heard it. The tiger. She could see the tip of its green tail ahead over one of the large misshapen rocks. Quietly, she grabbed a sharp-looking stone from the ground and crept slowly forward. And that's where I'm going to stop. Just kidding. I would never be able to stop right now. Come on. You know me better than that. There it was. In the clearing of flat stone, the evil animal was pacing back and forth as if it were waiting. Minli tightened her grip on the sharp stone. Then she gasped. A plump little girl, dressed in brilliant red, was running toward the tiger. Before Minli could scream a warning, someone from behind her pulled her down and covered her mouth. Shh, the voice said. And Minli looked into the eyes of a very small boy, who seemed to be the same age as the girl running toward the tiger. Underneath a gray blanket, he was using like a cape. She could see flashes of quilted red clothing that matched the girl's. His face was round and pink, as if it were more used to laughing than the serious frown it wore now. She nodded at his panicked gestures and kept quiet under the blanket. Oh, great green tiger! The little girl threw herself on the ground in a trembling kowtow before the beast. Powerful spirit! Oh, of the magistrate my worthless ancestors angered! My brother and I were sent to you as the sacrifice you demanded. The tiger roared furiously, and the girl cowered. I'm sorry, the girl said, her voice quivering. My brother and I were both sent to you. But on the way here, another monstrous beast attacked us. He took my brother, and so there is only me. The tiger made an outraged yeah sound. Yes, another beast, the girl said. This is what happened. The story the girl told the green tiger. Wow, right here, the green tiger is being told a story by a little girl. Okay, let's believe it. Your message to the family caused an uproar. There was great wailing and crying as a gong, our father, told us that you demanded 2 children every month to be sacrificed to you. It was payment for the insult our ancestors caused you. He said, and if we paid, you would leave the rest of the family in peace. It was a high price, but we knew with your immense power and strength, we could not disobey. So my brother and I chose to be the first 2 children. As the family wept, my brother and I left our home to go to you. But as we made our way to meet you, an evil beast jumped from the rocks. He looked like you, only not as strong or as mighty, of course. And he was dark. The girl, the color of a night shadow. He roared at us, but we trembled to the ground. I cried out, "Do not eat us, beast! We belong to the great green tiger." And the beast stopped his roar at my words. "Green tiger?" he growled. "Yes," I said. "We are sacrifices for the great green tiger. We are not for you. If you attack us, you will make the mighty green tiger angry and he will destroy you." "Destroy me?" The beast laughed. "The green tiger is old and a weakling." "No," my brother protested. "The great green tiger is the most powerful beast of all. None can defy him." The beast laughed again. "A paper pig is more mighty than the green tiger. I will take you, but leave the other for him. Pathetic dog that green tiger is." And with that, the girl said, he took my brother and dragged him into his cave. The girl burst into sobs as Minli stole a glance at the boy. The boy looked a bit sheepish, but again put his finger to his lips for quiet. The tiger growled with impatience. As he disappeared, he said, the girl swallowed nervously at Green Tiger's ferocious face. "Tell the green tiger that his son, the king, left you out of pity for his poor, feeble father." Stop. Do you get what's going on here? It seems to me there's a little girl talking to a green tiger. There seems to be another boy who's hiding underneath a little cloak that Minli has accidentally come across. He's going, "Shh." And she's telling this incredible story about a beast who's eaten the brother, but the brother's there. And this beast supposedly has put down the green tiger, right? But the green tiger, did you hear what the little girl said? The green tiger is supposedly, let me say that again, supposedly the ancestor or the spirit of the magistrate tiger, who is asking for a sacrifice of 2 children. This must be those people who were the ultimate happy people. You remember that, and how they had disappeared? And then how Magistrate Tiger was so angry and he went out to try to find them and they were gone. Do you remember all this? I hope you do. If not, you need to go back and find out, because if you don't, you're going to get all confused with this. Okay, so here's the deal. It seems as though this beast, whoever it was, who supposedly ate the boy, is putting down the magistrate tiger as though he's a weakling. I think they're trying to trick him. Check it out. "Tell the green tiger that his son, the king, left you out of pity for his poor, feeble father." With those words, the green tiger roared with such rage and jealousy that even the stones seemed to shudder. Minli quaked, and the boy held her arm even tighter. "I can show you his den, where he has dragged my brother." The girl quivered. The tiger nodded at the girl, with narrowed eyes seething with fury. Shaking, the girl got up and began to lead the tiger away from the clearing. Minli, with the boy beckoning, silently followed. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, we're reading it. It's Friday. We have to do this, okay? So you get what's going on now. The boy is actually still alive. I don't think the beast even exists. I think that they're doing something to trick this guy. Are you starting to smell that? Okay, you're not going to really smell it, but check this out. What is the tiger doing? Can you infer? I'm not going to tell you, but I have a feeling that dark space is going to have a very important piece to this puzzle. Chapter 31. Minli and the boy followed from a distance, past sharp rocks and jutting boulders. The girl finally stopped in another clearing. It was only when Minli and the boy pressed up behind one of the rocks that she realized it was once a stone carving, and the clearing was the ruin of an abandoned house, now mostly worn away by wind. "Here," the girl said. "The beast dragged my brother into that cave." She pointed to a strange hole in the ground. Minli scarcely recognized it as a large abandoned well. The rocks around the opening were rough and cracked, and a ripped piece of red fabric lay torn on the top of the sharp stones. Minli looked at the boy and saw his ripped pants. He smirked. Smirking is what you and a friend do when you're about ready to play a trick on somebody. "The beast, your son," the girl faltered, "is in there. He also said," the tiger growled at her to continue. "He said that," the girl swallowed in fear, "that you would be too much of a coward to confront him." The tiger glowered ferociously, stalked to the edge of the well, and snarled into the blackness. "He's in there," the girl said. "Do you see him?" The deep well was full of dark shadows, but the dark water caught the reflection of the tiger's menacing eyes and sharp teeth. Full of wrath, the tiger growled at his own reflection, thinking it was a black beast. And the reflection growled back. The tiger gave a furious roar. The roar echoed back. "That's him," the girl said. "He's mocking you." Outraged, the tiger clawed the stone ground and snarled again, even louder and even angrier. "How dare he," the girl said. "He insults you, your own son." The girl's words and his own echoing roars set the green tiger off into a frenzy. The air seemed to be charged with his uncontrollable fury. Every hair on the tiger seemed to jut like sharp spikes. The teeth, and eyes glittering like the cutting edge of a knife. He gave a deafening roar that bellowed, filling the sky with thunder and its sound. The girl fell to the ground, and Minli and the boy covered their ears. The tiger bared his teeth and claws for an attack, and when the roar echoed back, it overwhelmed him with a wild rage. Finally, the green tiger gave one last roar and leapt into the well. The girl, boy, and Minli stood frozen as the air filled with roars and the sound of splashing water. Then, suddenly, the wind carried one last howl into the sky. There was silence. Minli stared in disbelief. The green tiger was gone. Who in the world are these children who go in charge of a green tiger who is going to be willing to be attacked by its own reflection in the bottom of a well after being so angered about what this beast did? That is a jealous, unthinking, manage yourself. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Are you listening to this? Are you hearing it, you guys? This is an amazing story. I love this story, don't you? Well, here's the deal. In order to find out who the little boy and who the little girl are, why in the world they're out here in the middle of nowhere, what in the world a green tiger was doing, and how they got so smart is going to have to be figured out on Monday. I love this too. Don't you love this? Oh my gosh. Okay, the adventure continues. It's the weekend. It's time for you to enjoy yourself to the fullest extent. I don't know how the weather is, but plain and simple, I don't care how the weather is. Get outside and learn something amazing. Learning is an adventure. It doesn't all happen at school. Thank you so much for participating in this wonderful, wonderful adventure that I'm on and we're on together. Know that this is always a safe place that you can come back to. Remember, we're not always here, but if you ever need me, remember, you can always write me a note over on the side, okay? You can do that or downstairs. I don't know wherever it is after it goes live and gets recorded on here, but whether you are here right now or whether you are here later, It means the world to me that you came. I never feel alone when I'm around. Thank you, Mag. Have a wonderful weekend. Oh my gosh, I love your pictures. The moon. Oh, you are so good at that. So smart. Thank you for your creativity. Thank you for your wildness. Thank you for your energy. Say hello to everybody at home. I love you. I love you. Be safe, be kind, and most importantly, get out of here and go have a life. Bye.